just make it up, cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Artificial love. Artificial love.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today's going to be a very quick video. It's part 2 of my Turkesterone cycle. The last video was posted 10th of July, so if you haven't already checked it out, do go back and look, because that's going to have the full details of the price, the label explanation, and how I got on with my first month of Turkesterone. So I finished my second month of Turkesterone, done a 2-month cycle in total at 1 gram a day. So this is going to be how the second month went, and how, actually, something we haven't touched on before, but how did I get on post-cycle? So it's been 2 months since I finished that second month of Turkesterone. How have I found it since? You know, have I kept the gains? Do I look the same? Do I look worse? Do I look better? That's what we're going to be getting into today. And if you're new here, please do like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, drop down your thoughts below, anything else you want to see us review, all the usuals. Let's get into it. Start from the beginning. I started the Black Forest Supplements Turkesterone on the 10th of June 2022 this year. 1 gram a day, obviously started month 2, 10th of July, so I finished it 10th of August. We're now today in the middle of October, so it's been approximately 2 months since the whole thing is finished. So if I just go through basically a quick catch up of what I explained in the first video, the highlights. So I started on the 10th of June, the first month, 1 gram a day. I went from 79 kilos to about 81, give or take. Like I said, go back to that video and check that out if you're interested. So today is going to be looking at month 2 and beyond. So how have I got on in the second month? I only gained 1 more kilo. So I went from 81 to 82. And to be honest with you guys, that did sort of dip and go above and below 82 kilos day by day, depending on my diet and water intake and all the rest of it. So approximately 1 more kilo is gained. So I will be flashing up pictures like I did in the first video, so you can see how I looked at the absolute start and how I looked at the end after 2 months after finishing the second month of Turkesterone. So my physique on the right is actually going to be 2 months off of Turkesterone. I do think that it's interesting, isn't it, to look, because that's a debate that always comes up with these reviews, with these natural muscle builders, is do you keep your gains when it finishes? And so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to deep dive into that and find out, you know, exactly what happens. Did I feel horrible once the cycle ended? You know, what happened with my strength? What happened with my muscle mass? All the rest of it. My diet mostly stays the same. My training mostly stays the same. So the only thing that I could possibly attribute any changes to would be that stopping of the Turkesterone. So let's get into it. So to be totally honest with you, in that second month of Turkesterone, I was a little bit hit and miss. You know, for 1 or 2 weeks, there were some weeks where I wasn't training quite as often. I had a particularly busy couple of weeks, and my diet did go a little bit skew with, you know, I think I had birthdays or events or whatnot, just normal life stuff that popped up and threw me off of my absolute spot on regular training and diet. So there was a little bit of iffiness through there, but I also thought that would be quite interesting to see, you know, how does the Turkesterone respond in that sort of scenario where things are dipping a little bit and throwing a little bit off? You know, do you completely lose everything, or does it help to keep the gains whilst you're missing, taking a few extra rest days than you normally would? And to be honest with you guys, I didn't notice anything. You know, I didn't notice any loss in strength. I didn't notice any loss in endurance. I didn't notice any changes in my physique. I mean, I'm not saying I missed a shit ton of days. I only really missed a couple here and there, but it's worth noting nonetheless. So month number 1 was no disturbances, perfect all the way through, gained a couple of kilos. Month number 2, gained only about 1 kilo, give or take, and had a few iffy weeks, or a couple of iffy weeks where I wasn't training quite up to spec, and my diet, you know, a couple of off days there as well. So in total, from start to finish, I gained around 3 kilos, and it's up to you guys as to what you think. You know, I'll leave that with you as to the pictures, you know, whether you think I look better or worse. I personally think I look a bit thicker, maybe even a little bit leaner. My muscles have just a bit more pop to them. They're a bit more filled out, but again, like, I'll leave that up to you. It's completely discretionary. I think the camera angles are slightly different in the pictures. I think the ones on the right were, the camera was set slightly higher, and the beginning ones were set slightly lower, so that could throw off the waist to lat ratio and things of that nature, but I did try and keep it as accurate as I possibly could. So anyway, that's all I've got to say on that. So 3 kilos different start to end. My physique, that's how it looked from start to 2 months post Turkesterone. So in final verdict, how I got on, let's go. Okay, so this Turkesterone promises that it's one of the purest on the market, and like I touched on in video number 1, I don't personally think that to be the case. I think it is just a generic average purity. And the company said they've got certificates, and they sent them to us to prove that they're you know, high purity. But even so, we just, you know, based on the effects and the price, I just don't know if that can be the case. But I do think it is legit Turkesterone. I don't think it's completely bunk and, you know, it's not going to do anything. Obviously, I've got results from it, so it must be something in there. And I don't think it's SARMs or anything sketchy, because let's just say I think I would know if that was the case. So yeah, I did have a positive all-around experience. Now, in terms of how I got on post-Turkesterone cycle in those last 2 months, interestingly, didn't notice any difference. You know, my strength didn't shoot down, my endurance didn't shoot down. Obviously, you guys can see the physique comparisons that I've shown for you already. You can see that hopefully my physique hasn't taken a massive downturn. So yeah, I really do think that as long as you keep your diet and training for the most part on point, you will hold on to any gains that you make from these natural muscle builders. And the reason why simply is because it's a natural muscle builder. It's non-hormonal, so it's not going to spike your testosterone levels up and then suddenly crash your hormones, and then you'll end up on the opposite end with high estrogen or what have you. So it really is one of those scenarios where if you just keep it up, keep training, keep the intensity up, keep the diet the same, then you should in theory hold on to all of, if not most of, the gains that you make from these natural muscle builders. So in summary, yeah, had a very good overall experience with this one. Do I think it's the best one on the market? I don't think so. You know, it's my first time with Turkesterone specifically in terms of a natural muscle builder. I've tried some other ones like Laxagenin, Epicatechin and Ecdysterone, but this one was my first go with actual Turkesterone. I think I responded averagely to it, you know, okay. I mean, all of that 3 kilo gain is bound to be obviously some fat, and who knows, water weight maybe. I'm not going to say I've gained 3 kilos of muscle, I'm not that deluded, but I think that, I don't know, it's tricky because I personally think I perhaps look a little bit leaner on the right, so I don't know, it's very interesting. It's a new science, all of these natural muscle builders, so it really is hard to pinpoint anything other than just people giving their honest experience. And hopefully this does add to that, and you can find some sort of use from this video to make a decision on whether you want to buy a natural muscle builder, you know, whether it be this Black Forest supplements one that I'm reviewing right now, or whether it be another form of Turkesterone or another natural muscle builder altogether. But that's my final absolute experience and verdict with this particular Turkesterone. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Have you used it? Do you want to use it? Have you used any natural muscle builders? What's been your experience with them? You know, what have you noticed in terms of strength gain, muscle gain, all the rest of it? But yeah, like I said, personally, I didn't notice any drop off in gains or strength when the second month of the Turkesterone ended. So I really do think as long as you're committed enough to carry on training and eating right, then you're not going to have any issues there. But like I said, I'm interested in hearing all your thoughts down below. Let us know if you want to see more reviews like this. It's a bit tricky with the natural muscle builders because there's only so many we can review in a year. We can't be constantly churning one out month after month after month. We have to let our bodies reacclimate and, you know, reset our factory settings, so to speak, and then start again from a fresh standpoint. So yeah, let us know down below, and as always, stay gaining.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.